Oh, apparently I'm live. Hello. Okay, the days of the week. Another play on words. How clever. Awakening to reality. Okay, let's explore that title after I give you what day it is, because it's the days of the week. Friday, March 14th, 2025. I've noticed that a lot of people are taking control of their own lives. I salute you because we're being led down lots and lots of blind alleys. You know, you get to the end and it's like, oh, nothing there. Okay, turn around, go back. And it's like, no. Why do you go down these blind alleys? Because you're following fools. You're not taking control of your own life. Now, I know a lot of people want to take control of your life. This is irritating, this. But it's cold, so I'm going to keep it on. Anyway, yeah, I did a breathing exercise yesterday with somebody who's in a lot of pain. But I did this breathing exercise, you know, in for two, hold for two, out for two. And I said, do it 4 or 5 times because they were in a lot of pain and quite a lot of anxiety about the pain that they were in. So this is it. Simple technique. In for two, hold for two, out for two. It's quite simple, and you do it 4 or 5 times, and then you'll notice that your mood changes a little. And it's a good exercise to do when you're in a position of feeling like you're out of control. It brings the control back into you. Now, being in control of you means that you are free to do anything you want to do. As long as you don't harm others, I'm all in favor of that. Because freedom, without freedom, what have we got? A bunch of rules and regulations, bars upon the cage that we're in. Even if they're not to be seen, there are bars in here, there are bars in here. We have to break down all the borders of those silly cages that we've been living in, that we've created. We create most of these cages, and it's nice to see a lot of people taking control of their own lives and being their own person. I love that. Now, there's going to be some loonies. Of course there are. But they're only hypothetically lunatics because they've been breaking the rules. Why have they been breaking the rules? Well, because they feel restricted. Nobody wants to feel like they're going out in life with a straitjacket on. I'm gonna get free one day. They don't want that. Nobody wants that. My friend, the mother of my children, has been through a lot of pain in her life, and particularly over the last 10 days. Awful pain. The anxiety that led to the pain, and then the pain of a physical operation, and the realization that awakening to reality. We all build bubbles. Gosh, that's called dreaming, right? That's all right. There's nothing wrong with it. I dream of a better world. I help create it by doing things, but I always have one foot in reality. And that's because I really do think that human beings have the capacity to be better than they are. I know it's about the collective. I know it's about how easily the collective can be manipulated. But if you stop trying to please others, as a way of operating within this human experience, if you stop trying to just be the popular guy or say the things you think people want to hear, if you spend all your life playing a popularity game, excuse me. Oh, it's cold this morning. Yeah, I mean, it's now a lot of people say, okay, that's going to lead to selfishness, right? Oh, he doesn't care about anything. Well, it's the opposite, actually, because once you start caring for yourself, love thyself, right? If you start caring for yourself, you recognize how much better you feel, and then you can operate from a better position because your energy is good. Your energy is one of care. So that care you can bring out into the community on full tilt because you're caring for you. Now, it's not selfish to care for yourself. And I know there's a certain amount of people. There's a certain amount of people, yeah, that struggle, like really struggle. And I've seen them, mostly they're blank stares, but I see them and then I speak to them and I smile with them and I commiserate with them and I empathize with them and I am compassionate towards them because they're obviously dealing with something that's way beyond anything I can comprehend because it's their life, right? So, but I try my hardest to make their day better by not going in and saying, wake up, because awakening has to be done at your own pace. And in some ways, we all wish it was going faster, but then we get tricked into believing, well, the evil's getting faster, the evil's speeding up, the darkness is speeding up. So I have to speed up the light. And it's like, no, the darkness and the light already coexist. What you have to do is definitely come from the place of light. Be a balanced person by recognizing the dark and light. And sure, there are explorations into both, but you have to be balanced with the light. A great psychic friend of mine, brilliant. She's amazing. Many years ago, released me from my childhood trauma. She didn't actually do it. What she did was go in and explain what I was going through and had amazing insight to what I went through as a child. And she gave me the tools to be able to confront that childhood trauma myself, because she knew that she couldn't really cure my childhood trauma that I was unconsciously holding on to. I was unconsciously holding on to a childhood trauma that I hadn't confronted and hadn't accepted and hadn't realized. And that allowed me to be more free from my conditioning, because we're all conditioned, right? Everybody has to interact, and if they interact with society, they have feelings, emotions, and you know, all the other lovely stuff of being human, right? So if you don't confront that childhood trauma, somewhere in your unconscious that keeps coming up, even if it doesn't come up in the same sense, obviously, of whatever that trauma might be. It actually manifests in your interactions because it's there going, I control you. Aye. So you have to confront it, and sometimes it's very painful. Mine was not so much painful, but it really stunted my emotional well-being. It really stunted it, because once it was gone and I confronted it and said, you know what, no longer does it control me, I recognized how much freer I was in this society. So confronting it might be painful, but it's well worth it. Oh, my friends from the south coast of England, Juicy and Lucy. Hello. How you doing? I hope you're well. Hope everything's going well for you guys. I know it's a bit rough right now in England, and I think it's just the stretching and yawning of people getting in alignment with their real timeline, their real human experience. I mean, you've done so much traveling on human experience. Brilliant people, Juicy and Lucy. Look up the abracadabra code. Yeah, they're just really wonderful people. Yeah, I'm doing okay. They're asking me if I'm okay, which is nice. See, people can be kind and interact with each other. I am doing quite well. I'm kind of in a bit of a battle with the system, but I'm actually aware of it. So the awareness that I'm battling the system is knowing that I can't win, but I can help others. And you know, I don't want to play a winning losing game. Once you start playing winning, then you end up understanding that that makes others losers. And I don't want to make anybody feel like a loser, because we all have the potential to be better human beings. We just have to get past silly things that have controlled us, like childhood trauma, which is what I was talking about. Gosh, we've been doing some more work on abracadabra code clock. Very, very interesting. Yes, yes, yeah. I mean, Juicy and Lucy go to places. I mean, they actually go to places, boom, places that exist within the esoteric world, and they really do understand the messages they receive in these far off places, because they're able to decode them. And there's a thing called the abracadabra clock, which is kind of complicated to understand at first, and then if you work with them, so go to their website. I will post their website underneath this video. If you're really interested in understanding how humanity is on a level that they can overcome and become better, and then there's more levels that go further and further into our true being, which can travel anywhere and do many things that are healing modalities for humanity. So it's interesting. It's interesting for me, and it's interesting for many people, because what they're seeing within society is more constrictions, more restrictions, more rules, more regulations. And they're like, this can't be it. I mean, a lot of people, I mean, regular, normal, everyday people are going, this can't be it. This can't be the real, we're better than this. So sometimes you have to explore the places that are more esoteric, more metaphysical, more spiritual, call it what you will, but they're things that we normally cannot explain well. But there is a bigger picture that we're not aware of yet. And the abracadabra code, gosh, my friend who I was talking about a little while ago, Becky Barron, these are people that explore places that are psychic places that are beyond just the physical realm that we live in. And it's well worth exploring, because it gives hope for humanity, because we will, and we do, thrive through this, regardless of what we're seeing going on in our narrow field of vision right now. We get beyond this. We do. I mean, regularly. So it can be done. So yeah, it's today. I called this Days of the Week, and then Awakening to Reality. Well, Awakening to Reality is dealing on, okay, let's give it dimensional names, because people want labels, they want names. You know, if you're in a flat 1D reality, one dimensional, then you'd be like, you know, just, well, you wouldn't be able to operate. We're in a 3-dimensional world. There is a 4th dimension, there is a 5th dimension, there is a 6th dimension. Some people have got to, I think the last time I had a long conversation with some of my more forward-thinking motherfucker friends, I think 72, you know, I think was where they were at. Judith, who used to be on Focus, sadly passed away last week. Oh gosh, I love Judith. And she's since been sticking feathers everywhere. Even Rusty had one stuck in his tail. Oh my gosh. That is very telling, isn't it? I mean, when you think about it, because we're all, whether we know it or not, free as a bird. Feathers. That's beautiful. I like Judith a lot. I love Judith. She was a great person. And she can now give messages from the other side and send us feathers. Reminders of who we are, what we are. Okay, I have to go because I've got a lot of work to do today. I'm looking after the mother of my children, and she's in the hospital, but she's getting out soon. The hospital feels like a prison to her. But the doctors and nurses are brilliant. They've done a great job. The surgeon did an amazing job. But now she feels like she's stuck within a health care system. It doesn't care. I don't know why they call it health care. Health, I don't care. Because the system doesn't care. But the people within it care. And they've been brilliant. So she's, yeah. She's a little nervous as to her next step, but I'm trying to take care of that before she comes back to her home, which I'm looking after right now. And, you know, I'm trying to make it as comfortable and as nice as I can for her, so as she can be wonderfully independent because she doesn't really want to be cohabiting with anybody. She wants to be in her own environment where she can control the flow in and out of that environment. That's what we all want, is our independence. And sometimes we get the beauty and the reward of being able to share that with each other for a while, or collectively, hopefully, we will understand. We will start to understand, and I think that's when we truly wake up, truly wake up as human beings. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting there. And I'm very positive about it, but I'm not a hippy dippy. I mean, sure, I say love and peace because I do believe that with unconditional love, we all awaken. It's where we come from. And it's where we're going. And there might be many levels of where we're going. It'll be very exciting. And some people can travel that way, even in this human experience, this duality, and more praise to them. Helith system. Yeah, Helith. Yeah. I mean, the mother of my children clings to a belief system that's gone. I mean, she clings to it, but it's gone. So she has an imaginary crutch or walking stick or walking frame. She has an imaginary one. And she's starting to realize that, oh shit, it's not there. That's tough. That's tough for anybody that's just awakening to having lent on this system and then realizing that, gosh, it's broken, it's corrupt, it's nasty. It's tough. It's tough for anybody. Sudden realizations always are. It's like sharp intake of breath. I mean, gosh, I thought, and I won't be pointing fingers on this one, but I thought these people or this group of people or this person was representative of something that was going to show me, but they weren't. They lied. They lied to be able to suck the power out of you so as they could use it for their own benefit. I'm explaining politics, organized faiths, religions, cults. All of these things are just meant to control you in some way, shape, or form. And unless you take control of your own life, and that might mean that you have to confront, no, it does mean you have to confront that childhood trauma. And you'll get past it. You did, but you've done it by blocking off a part of your interaction. You've blocked off a way of interacting by allowing that childhood trauma to be a nagging doubt in the back of your mind. It's there. It comes out in different ways. It's not going to be obviously the same thing, your dad giving you a backhander, or your mum saying, I don't love you, or all of these things that happen. And I'm just giving silly examples of childhood trauma. It can be something very subtle, but it's there. We all have it. Part of it is from being born, just coming through that birth canal. And realizing that you're helpless in a world where you come into it. You have more when you come into this world than you do after the first interaction with everybody, because they take you away from safety and put you in danger, and they recognize that they're taking away that unconditional love, that you come out wide-eyed and go, oh, and they're going, slap you on the ass, hold you upside down, wrap you up in something, put you in a crib away from your mum. All of these things are traumatic, but the childhood trauma continues up until you're usually about 7 or 8 years old, by which time your mind is already being controlled into a system that really doesn't care. They want you to operate within that system because that's the system that they've all operated on for centuries and centuries. Well, it's time to go, nope, not doing that. So confront that childhood trauma. Really deal with it. Really deal with it. And you'll lift up. You'll go up a level. You'll go up a level. I think that's the abracadabra clock starting to tick. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Okay, I'll leave a link below for Juicy and Lucy. What link would you like me to put in there, Juicy and Lucy? It's beautiful where we're going. Yes, it is. And we are going there. Can you post in the chat the best link to find you? You know, I want people to go to look at your site. I mean, sure, they can look at my site and go to my music and help me continue to expand my interaction with human beings on this experience. But I do want to spread it out so as they get a better understanding. So can you drop in the chat, Juicy and Lucy, can you drop in the chat the best link to find you at? I mean, I know your Wix site, and maybe that's the best, but maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't know where's best to find you. I know generally it's, you know, it's one thing. Get reminders in, you know, this digital interface is always telling me, oh, this is going on over here. It's a bit like life, really, isn't it? It's like full of major distractions. It's like, oh, you're dealing with something that's very important to you. Oh, look at this shiny penny. All right. Well, I think I've done my duty in the house. I'm doing a lot of things here. Could have done with your help, mate, because I know I got a mate here who's a plumber. He's actually an all-rounder, a bit like you, really. He's a handyman, but he's also a plumber. And he's been helping a lot, and that's good. So it would have been nice if you were here. Juicy. All right. Have a beautiful and brilliant weekend. It's Friday. And let's spread the word. We're free if we want to be. Let's spread that word. All right. Keep on keeping on, people. One foot in front of the other. We're getting there. Love. Unconditional love. There you go. Bye for now. Thanks for joining me.